Thank you very much. Thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, I'm excited to be here at the Future Facing Commodities Conference. We have a business model in Future Facing Metals. Our clear business strategy is to create value through the discovery of future facing metals. Our flagship commodities are rare earths and lithium. We've already made discoveries in those commodities. We've also got copper and nickel exploration assets. We're in Western Australia, Tier 1 mining jurisdiction, as you all know, #1 address for hard rock lithium. It also is a pretty globally significant rare earths producing state, and also some emerging niobium and other rare earths deposits there. On the corporate level, we think we've got something that distinguishes us from other junior mining companies. We've attracted some of the biggest battery players in the world as shareholders. Shanghai Jason, world's #1 cathode precursor materials manufacturer, is on our register and our biggest shareholder. Amperex Technology Limited, #1 in the production of lithium-ion batteries by reference to the number of battery units produced, has also invested in our Lithium Star subsidiary. And Sunwoda Electronic, another globally significant battery maker, is on board as a shareholder. Your smartphone, iPad, laptop has probably got an Amperex Technology Limited or Sunwoda battery in it. That's how dominant these guys are. We think it's the right time in the cycle to be investing in St. George. Our future-facing metals are also the kind of things that can deliver enormous value to our investors. That chart that you can see there is called the Lassonde curve. It was devised by a gentleman called Pierre Lassonde, who built his company Franco-Nevada into a $30 billion giant. It's basically a royalty company, so it earns royalties from mineral discoveries. But he's tried to map the life cycle of a mineral discovery. At the bottom here, low value, this is where you've got your basically moose pasture and you're trying to work out what it is. When you make a discovery, that's when the massive value is created for shareholders very, very quickly. When you get to the top and you start developing, well, it gets a little bit boring, so you sometimes lose value. You've got to fund very big capex. Where is St. George? St. George's is this point right here. We have a number of exploration projects pre-discovery, but we've also had some with a discovery, which we're drilling out and trying to establish the size of the resource. So we think we're at the very best point of the life cycle to create value for shareholders. One of the most respected journalists in Australia, Barry Fitzgerald, just last week named St. George as one of the top 3 companies to be watching in the junior space as the lithium market rebounded. So very nice from Barry. Our projects are in WA, as I mentioned. Rare earths, we've made a discovery across a 7-kilometre strike, and we've still got 70 kilometres of prospective lithology. So that's at the Destiny project there. We've also got a number of other lithium projects in WA. They're mostly in the lithium super province. All those red label projects on the map are our St. George projects. The yellow projects are established lithium mines or large lithium deposits. There are more producing lithium mines than anywhere else in the state in this super province area. That's where we have our projects. So we think they're a good location and good opportunity to make a discovery. We've got a large land holding, over 3,000 square kilometres already granted, and quite a bit more in application, so it gives us multiple opportunities to create several discoveries. The Destiny project, we just announced on Monday our latest drill results. They're looking pretty good. We've got the grade. It's a clay-hosted rare earths deposit. Grades up to 5,125 ppm, total rare earths oxide. That's very, very good for a clay-hosted deposit. The scale looks like it's there. So far it's across a 10-kilometre strike and still another 70 kilometres to drill. The thickness is also telling us there's volume there. The mineralized intercepts are up to 100 metres thick. The high-grade intercepts are about 42 metres thick. So that's definitely talking to volume. And more importantly, the quality of the rare earths is very good. The magnetic rare earths, which are the ones used in clean energy applications, EV engines, wind turbines, we've got about 20% of that, which is a very good average. So it's a really good discovery, we believe. We've got to do resource definition and exploration drilling, and also do the metallurgical test work to confirm that you can monetize this. We'll be doing more work about that this year. Don't please try and read those mineralized intercepts, they're too hard. But the key point from here is the consistency of the grade and the thickness of the intercepts. That's telling us that there's a fairly coherent mineral deposit here. We have to continue the drill out to confirm that, but so far it's really stacking up as a potential rare earth deposit for development. Just a quick snapshot of some market dynamics in the rare earth space. As you probably know, China is the #1 in the production of rare earths, far and above everyone else, and also has the biggest reserves. There are other countries with reserves, Vietnam, Russia, that's not particularly good, and Brazil. So there is a huge interest in diversifying the supply chain. So we're seeing good support in Australia for rare earth discoveries, and obviously you're hearing more about the Brazil ones as well. So it's a good place to be, we believe, to create value for shareholders. Mount Alexander is our flagship lithium deposit. It's in what we call a new lithium province. A company called Delta Lithium has made the discovery there and established close to a 15 million tonne resource. We have similar exposure to the Copperfield granite. So that is Delta Lithium there. This is St. George here. And this is the Copperfield granite, which is the source of the mineralized pegmatites that are producing the spodumene. They've already got their deposit established here. We believe we've got similar kind of exposure and potential here. Other big players in the region are Hancock. Gina Reinhardt, Australia's richest person, is joint ventured here with Legacy Minerals, Legacy Iron Ore, which is backed by the Indian government. And IGO is exploring down here in joint venture. So we're surrounded by very major players in the battery sector. I should add that Delta Lithium, as major shareholder, is now Mineral Resources, which is also one of the strongest players in the lithium sector in WA. So it's a very, very good address. We've made a discovery and we just got to continue finding the higher volumes of it. We've got more than 500 pegmatites to explore. So we're doing analysis of those. There is lithium in the surface, but more importantly, the expert geologist will tell you to look at something called the potassium to rubidium ratio. If that is a very low ratio, it's almost certain that you've got spodumene producing pegmatites. We're doing that at the moment. We'll be announcing something very soon. I think we're seeing some really special ratios that telling us it's almost certainly somewhere there is going to be spodumene. So we're going to have some really exciting drill targets, I think, this year to go and test. We already know there's high-grade lithium there, 1.8% confirmed in the drilling that we did last year. And we've also got some very thick pegmatites, 121 metres, so that's similar to the stuff you're seeing up in the Pilbara with Azure and Wildcat. It wasn't a highly mineralised intercept, but it was fractionated. So fractionated is the first phase of getting to lithium mineralisation. We just have to continue that search and hopefully we'll find both the high grade and the thickness. Plenty of drilling to come in 2024 to extend that project. Lithium Star is a subsidiary formed last year. We acquired 7 lithium projects in that company. And we joint ventured it with Amperex Technology Limited. We sold 10% of that company to Amperex in exchange for $3 million. So that's given us the money to go and explore in that company and hopefully make that discovery to take that project further. The 2 key projects that we're really excited about are Mauna Rocks and the Bungonia project. That map shows you the Mauna Rocks project. At the bottom there is Mount Cattlin, owned by Allchem, or I should say that's absorbed into Arcadium now, the new company. So that's a producing spodumene mine. We think that belt goes all the way up into our ground as well. We'll be doing our first round of drilling there later this year, or later this quarter. So hopefully we get some good results there and gives us confidence that we're on the right track. The Agena project is an early base metals project. It's on the western margin of the Yilgarn in Western Australia. Most people have tended to go east into the desert to find new discoveries. And everyone forgot about the western margin. That's where Chalice made its big discovery at Gonaville on the western margin. So we had a look to see if there's any forgotten areas on the western margin. We found this area up near Geraldton. There has been historic mining here for lead and copper and zinc. We found an area that was undercover, was never touched by the prospectors, but has some very interesting magnetic features, up to 20-kilometre long magnetic features, which we think are intrusions, which could be mineralised intrusions. We did our first round of drilling late last year. We did hit base metal mineralisation, high grades, mostly lead and zinc, which is not what we wanted, but it's telling us that there could represent a halo around a copper or zinc deposit, nickel deposit. So we're going to go back and drill the best of the magnetic anomalies this year, and hopefully we get what we're really looking for. A quick corporate snapshot there. Our market cap has fallen, unfortunately, with the fall in the lithium price of most of our peers. So we're pretty cheap at only a $20 million market cap and 2.2 cent share price. Our top 20 is pretty solid now with our major shareholders on board. Management has got a lot of skin in the game as well. Our board is important, but even more important is our technical team. They're the ones that are going to deliver that discovery that's going to re-rate us. Julian Hanna is a gentleman that some of you might know, had enormous success with Western Areas, got sold off to IGO, but he made it into the #1 nickel sulfide producer in WA, and then went off and made big copper discoveries with Mod Resources in Botswana. So he's on our team. Charles Wilkinson was the head of nickel exploration at Western Mining, and also the chief geologist at Western Area, so a very experienced geologist. And Dave Mahone is a younger geologist who worked with those gentlemen at Western Areas, and is the robust guy that handles all our field work. So we think we've got a very strong technical team with a track record of discoveries. We're putting them to work with our money, and hopefully they'll make the discovery for us too. That's the presentation. We've got multiple opportunities for discovery and creating value for shareholders. We've already made some discoveries, and this year we're going to be adding to them, and hopefully we get re-rated in accordance with that Pierre-Lassonde curve that I showed you. Thank you very much.